I'll let you know when I hear you. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get going.
I'll invite you to co-host.
It's on you, Sean. Ask the tough questions. I want to hear all about Lootify.
All right. Well, hey, yeah, thank you, everyone, for all the patience as we work through these technical difficulties. We're very excited to have Lootify in here to talk all sorts of things about their P2E gaming platform. Tell us a little bit about how you guys are doing. And, well, again, thank you for all your patience as we get started here.
Hey guys, thanks for having us on. I'll give you a little bit of background how we met the Fight Legends guys. We had a really nice NFT event and met the boys all outside, not even inside the event, just standing outside, yarning with everybody. But my name's Ahmed. I'm one of the co-founders of Lootify, been involved in crypto since 2017 and been investing over the years. And Take It Easy here is the other co-founder, Ibi.
Yeah, I think it's coming up as Crypto Hipster now. I had a change in style recently. Anyways, yeah, guys. So I'm the managing director of Lootify. Lootify is a social play-to-earn gaming platform with player acquisition infrastructure mainly focused around acquiring players for the play-to-earn game scene. We have some pretty cool functionalities that we've implemented in the platform, such as NFT lending, asset management tools, etc., that we'll talk about later on. But me personally, my background, I've been in the crypto space early on since 2016. Yeah, been building different products for the market. I've built my own guild, an Axie Infinity guild. Realized there was a lot of problems with this space, and that's how Lootify came about.
Awesome. Yeah. And, instantly when I start looking through your guys' stuff and reading the white paper in preparation, I saw all sorts of cool things you're doing that line right along with us, including like the peer-to-peer lending system, a gaming arena. How did you get into the gaming side of things? And, what's some awesome things you're working on right now?
Yeah, so Kazal himself is actually we're all gamers really. We've got a couple of professional gamers on our team too, actually. So that's how it came about. But mainly when Axie Infinity came up, we were really super hyped about it. We were super impressed with blockchain technology being integrated into games, and instantly we knew that it was going to revolutionize the space. So we started up our own guild, got that going. The guild side of things is actually quite difficult. We realized there was a lot of tedious work that we had to do, a lot of interviewing, screening of players, etc. So we thought this space, there's a big gap in the space, obviously, because the whole point of crypto and blockchain itself is to be decentralized, right, without any middlemen, peer to peer. So we thought, what sort of solutions and what sort of features can we or tech can we develop that will help really decentralize this space and better cater for mass adoption. And some of the the features and the tech that we looked at was obviously NFT lending, and yeah, so Lootify itself is pretty much a one-stop portal with access to hundreds of different games. That's really what Lootify is about. We know that a lot of people are going to come into this space, especially traditional gamers, and some of them might be discouraged to join the space because of having to set up multiple accounts for different games, multiple wallets. How do they manage their assets? They need to go to different NFT marketplaces to purchase NFTs. It gets messy. So what we thought was, why not create a single one portal platform with access to really good games that people actually want to play, and give them the tools and the functionality to be able to do that all in the one platform, and that's Lootify for you.
I love it. That's got so much potential here in the Web3. We were just the other day talking about how there's lots of Web2 solutions for this, and it's going to be awesome. I see that you're allowing streaming eventually and that sort of thing. So it's a real awesome centralized location for people to check out, not only check out and learn about new projects, but also get to experience them right then and there and hop into the community. So that's awesome. So I'd love to get you guys to talk a little bit with the team about your peer-to-peer lending system. Specifically, you got the an asset management tool in there, all sorts of cool things that make it a lot easier for players to, again, manage their in-game NFTs. Especially the more serious you get, you're going to have a whole bunch to organize, and this will be a cool place to do that. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so NFT lending, it's important, right? You see it happening now, like with the Axie Infinity NFTs and the other big play to earn games. Even Star Atlas is on the list. But you see the prices, obviously, in order for you to take part in these games, is especially if they're really good games, right? Like if it's an enjoyable, fun game that everyone wants to play, you're going to see a fluctuation of pricing and most likely on the dearer side. Um, so what happens is this may be discouraging, obviously, for some people that want to take part in the game, but they don't have the funds for it. Um, and also you've got another section that we have to think about and look at is the people that have played the game, and maybe like uh, being gamers ourselves, we know that sometimes you really enjoy a game, and especially this is a problem that will happen with NFT and play to earn gaming is you want to play a game and you actually really like the game, but you want to try something else. So you put that so you don't want to sell that NFT. You want to be able to come back to that game and play again, maybe later on down the line, or you just want to hold the NFT because you're passionate about the project and you think that you look forward to the future of the project and the releases that might come down later the line. Um, so you don't want to sell that NFT. So we thought, all right, what if we could, get people to almost load their NFT onto a pool on our platform, right? And and give access to other people to be able to make use of your NFT, use that, jump into the game. They can try it, they can earn some tokens and some rewards or whatever, and whatever they get back, they split with you, being that you're the asset owner, you're the NFT owner. So similar to what you see in the guild space at the moment, except there's a lot of middlemen involved. Now you can obviously borrow the NFT from an asset owner. You play the game, come back, say you've earned 100 tokens. There's an agreed within the smart contract. There's an agreed amount of what the split ratio is going to be between yourself and the asset owner. And you come back and you share the tokens. So you make money, and yeah, the NFT asset owner also makes money. Um, and you're going to see obviously a lot of games implement this within their game systems, right? They're going to implement the renting features, and you're seeing that happen everywhere. I've seen it, with the bigger games. Axiom, Cyball is doing it. Fight Legends is doing it. I've seen you guys are doing it as well. But what makes Lootify, still, what makes it needed in the space is that we actually allow the NFT lending, and loaning for multiple games through the one platform. And there isn't any project or any gaming platform out there that's currently doing that. And yeah, we want to be able to bring that to the people. I'll let Ahmed speak a bit more about the asset management tool.
Uh,
Karma.
yeah, I think he hit the nail on the head. A lot of people may ask, why is it that you guys are doing a lending feature when these games already have lending features inbuilt? And Ibi hit the nail on the head. Pretty much, it's just a consolidated platform for people who do want to dabble in certain games. Maybe they have a few Fight Legends NFTs and a few Axie NFTs, so it's just a consolidated place where they can manage all the assets from the one place. So that leads on to our second tool, which is the asset management tool. So obviously, if you have all these different NFTs and so many different games, it's going to be a bit tedious to be able to go into each individual game, check the performance of who's using your NFT. So the best place to do that would be Lootify. Would have all of the NFTs listed on this one platform, and then from there they'll be able to see the performance, and yeah, everything to do with the game just from Lootify. So the main reason why we built that is also for scalability. So people are just going to be purchasing NFTs left, right, and center for investment purposes. And yeah, just like an investment, you want to keep track of your performance. So Lootify definitely fills that gap there.
And I think that's also the great thing about NFTs, right? It's that even though on our platform we'll have a lending system and all that, because that's all been planned in the design of the game, but it doesn't stop other platforms from offering that service as well, because all the assets are ultimately owned by the players, so they can use all these tools and all that decentralized stuff with the assets from the game, and it's really awesome, you know.
Exactly, exactly. And you'll have things like, like I'm sure you guys will have it too, NFTs for like, and upping his skill levels for your base character of some sort, or it could even be just like, skins or whatever it may be. So, ancillary in-game assets. Those are also NFTs that can be rented out through that feature, and and it can be, if it's something that you don't earn tokens with, or doesn't directly correlate to the amount of tokens that you earn from using that NFT, then it can be collateralized lending, where you pay to rent out a particular NFT for a couple of days, or for a couple of weeks.
Actually, I have a quick question about your service. Will owners be able to kind of post their NFTs almost like a marketplace, and be looking for players? So people don't have to be actively looking for these scholars themselves and then going through the process of like onboarding them and signing them up.
Yeah, spot on, spot on. It's a good question too, because um, the guild space itself is a huge market, and you want to be able to provide services to them as well. There's definitely a lot of people, from what we've seen. There's people out there that are actually just operating in own mini guilds as as a form of passive income, or they actually believe in these projects, so they're investing and buying their NFTs, but and they want to make use of it. They may not necessarily be gamers themselves, so they can come onto the platform and actually and similar to what I said, they load their NFT onto our NFT liquidity pool, almost as you could call it, and it and players actually submit bids to rent out the NFT. So um, you bid based on your profile and your performance and skill level. So the way we measure that, every player actually has a what we call a Lootify Passport, right? Now, the Lootify Passport actually tracks your earnings in different games, your skill levels, and it uses that data from your in-game performances to recommend other games to you as well. But more importantly, it gives the asset owner an in-look into your skill level and what type of games you're actually good at, what games you're not so good at, and they can then decide who is best suited to rent out their NFT.
Oh, that's awesome. This is a super interesting concept. I'm actually not on the team for Fight Legends. I'm on the team for Meta Guardians. I would totally love to speak to you and see if we can kind of work together a little bit. This sounds like a pretty good opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely interested in having a conversation, and it's required in the space. Like I was saying, the guilds go, there's a lot of time wasted. Just going through players and commitment. You got to understand the players' commitment levels, their skill level. Some of them, might start off playing really well and then decline over time or whatever it may be, right? So the asset management tool is there for that. So you can see each player's skill level over time, and for the different games and the different assets that you own as an NFT owner. But on top of that as well, when you're going to look for players to onboard a player to use your NFT, you actually got to look into their profile, which is what we call the Lootify ID, and you can see all of that.
But also, is my mic working? I've had a lot of buggy issues. I've had to come in and out like 10 times.
Clear.
It sounds pretty cool. It's good that so beyond, say, our system, for example, which has a a lending system of its own in our game. Beyond that, obviously, it's other assets like that aren't included in Axes or Fight Legends or Meta Guardians. If we have that inside our game, and we have hiring or lending or whatever, there may be assets we don't include, which is another brilliant utility for yours. And also, for example, we've never discussed having direct. Like, we haven't discussed allowing owners to share directly with a player of their choice. We discuss it as more of a queue that you select from. So there's that wall up, whereas your platform allows an owner to have specific people he or she chooses to then lend to. So there may be side functionality that also you can cater for that games might not cater for in their specific system. So that's really cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And I think the overall goal, especially for our system and also for the games out there, is mass adoption. We want the traditional gamers to be able to play their games easily. They don't need to put an investment down, and they can just come and play the game, see if it's fun, and see if they want to invest.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm pretty sure we talked about this before, like during the event, where we're saying that, if we want mass adoption, the only way is to really like knock down all the walls that are stopping the adoption. So everything that's hard, that's too complicated for the regular users, we just want to like bring all that down and create new tech that will allow everyone and anyone to just play in like a couple clicks, without creating a wallet, without all that stuff. And yeah, it's really important that players can just play, really.
I think it's a good point. I think it's also a really good point that the companies as well, like if you want your platform sort of to be the most accessible platform for other companies to be able to plug in their stuff to having a really accessible API would be really important for that as well.
Yeah, exactly. Good point there. I think games need to really focus on making their APIs public and easily accessible to developers so that they can build these sort of tools. What do you guys have in the works for that?
I'll probably let Dayton answer that, Shay.
We're not at the current point. We weren't actually going to be looking at having accessibility to other platforms, so it was just going to be an internal system. But the more we talk about this, the more it looks like it would be pretty cool to actually have that system be managed by one of these platforms you're talking about. So there's a good opportunity to have that as part of our setup.
For sure, it definitely helps. And I mean, Lootify itself is a platform that's focused around player acquisition. So we're looking at ways to obviously onboard players, acquire players for your game. So it only benefits both parties, in this case, the platform and the game. Another thing I wanted to say, just to add on to Valentin's point earlier about mass adoption, you're very, you're spot on about that. We need to definitely just look at, what different things are making it hard for these players to come, for these traditional players to come and take part within this play to earn space. And it may be, we've looked at these issues ourselves, right? And it may be the lack of understanding of how a wallet works, how NFTs work, where to go purchase them. And these are all things that we definitely need to look at in this space. And one way that Lootify, targets this really well is we've actually taken away the wallet, the wallet interface. You don't log in and connect your wallet. You actually log in with a username and password, similar to like a Twitter account or a Facebook account. We've used that sort of approach with it. It's a username / game tag or your email and password. And then for the crypto friendly users that want to be able to connect their wallets and manage their assets directly, they can go into the dashboard and actually access that feature if that's what they're comfortable doing.
See, that's funny because that's exactly what we've set up as well. We've set up everything so that you can just create an account and play. And then if you feel comfortable, connect a wallet and start having fun with that stuff. And yeah, I think that's the way to go. I mean, NFT really, when you use a game, you don't know the name of the tech that's running the game, right? You just care about the game. And I think that the whole NFT and crypto and all that, eventually that's a language that's just bound to disappear, even though it's powering everything under the hood of the games that we're playing. The words and how it works, all that needs to disappear behind the user experience, you know?
And I think what's kind of happened in this space is that everyone's worried about the NFT side of thing and not the game side of thing. So especially with Fight Legends here, we're worried about building the best game that we can possibly build. And that's what it's more about for us. And I think that's more about what it is for gamers and onboarding them. When we're in the space, we're always talking about NFTs and the technology and all that. And then we're all scratching our heads like, how do we get these people to, mass adopt this thing? But at the end of the day, we're all gamers ourselves. We intrinsically know what we need to do. And we just got to go along and implement it, don't we?
Exactly. Love it. Very good points. Yeah, and that's what really differentiates between a good game and a shit one, to be honest. It's good to see that you guys are thinking about these things because they're very they're very important factors to try and assist with the mass adoption and there's definitely issues in the space that most some game or actually most games are not actually paying much attention to. So you're spot on with that.
And from what I can see, your project's amazing. It's kind of full circling everything, isn't it? Where you have, you've got the gamers there that can go on there for your scholarship programs. You've got that set up there for people that just want to invest, not actually play the game, still make money off their NFTs. And you're helping on board as well. So it's kind of like the full circle project in the whole thing, isn't it?
Yeah, spot on. We want to be able to, serve both games, guilds, and gamers. And that's been our approach with it. There's things that we've actually when you come to hopefully when you come to use a platform, you'll see that the platform itself within itself is actually a game. So when I started, I said that Lootify was a social play-to-earn gaming platform, and the social aspect of it is obviously we've got a streaming function, so that you can share your in-game play with other people in the space, whatever. There's a chat function, so to assist with community building, etc. Now, the way you do that is by gaining XP points within the platform itself, right? So the Lootify platform in its own is a game with access to games, and that's where it gets really interesting. But yeah, so we've definitely been working very hard on the project. It's taken us a while to get to where we are, and we're still developing. We're still really delving into the space to try and understand in what direction it's moving, because as we all know, it's always moving, and there's always people out there with great ideas. So we're just trying to stay on top of it as much as we can.
And Will, from a Fight Legends perspective, mate, when you see a project like this and you want to align yourself with a project like this, what is it that you see in this project that can obviously bring to the Fight Legends project?
Probably two main things would be new users and user experience, right? Like, so it supports the user experience in that it provides additional services to the users of our game. And so that's powerful. But then also it brings new eyes to it, right? So if a platform like this has, 5 of the top 10 games listed on it, then those communities are sharing with each other. They're aware of each other, and they're looking into those other games because they're right there in front of them, right? So it's about bringing the brand to a new users and supporting all the users with additional services. They're probably the two standout things for us.
Yeah, spot on. Great points, Will. And I want to add as well that some of the games that we're in discussion with, actually, some of them actually don't want to sell their NFTs. They want to keep them. They want to keep ownership of their NFTs, right? And this may be for the reason that stabilizing their game economy, for example, right? That's really one of the main reasons. So what happens is a way that we can serve games is by allowing them to, well, I guess they can do it on their own platform. But even better if they do it on the Lootify platform is they get access to the community that we've built. And exactly to what you said now, if it's top 5 games that are hosted on our platform, they get access to that entire community. And what they can do is they can, instead of selling their assets, they keep they loan them. So they keep ownership of their asset and they loan them on the Lootify platform to other players. And there's still obviously, like a split ratio between the asset owner and the player. So that could be, the game takes 30% of earned tokens and gives the remaining to the player. And then the 30% of the holdings can be reinvested into the game for development, for sustaining the game economy, etc.
And I
Does your
suppose that might help. That might help some other projects that are creating these games and things, and not actually. Well, sorry, the other way around. They're creating NFTs, but they're not yet in the gaming space, and so they can then create that, still hold on to their NFTs whilst they're working out what their project's actually doing with them.
Yeah, spot on. Spot on.
Yeah, I just had another question. Does your platform actually like import the percentage split kind of data? Because for our game, it's going to be like a fixed percentage, and realistically, all the owner can change is how long they're renting it out for. So I'm just wondering, would that be kind of the same experience?
Yeah, so with us, like, because it's a peer-to-peer market, right? And that's we genuinely believe in that concept that it should be uh, the token split, the duration, everything, right, should be determined by the community and by the people that it really should be determined by the players, because you'll see that if you'll see that if the player or if your community for your particular game, they really have fun in your game, they love the experience, then they will be willing to take a smaller portion of the profit split, right? So they may be willing to take only 20%, and that's because they genuinely love playing the game and it's fun, and they're not just doing it for the money, right? So we want it to be community driven, and that's the way that we see it. So we're leaving the split ratio or the ratio determined by the asset owners and the players themselves. It's a community driven aspect.
So you're saying that it'd be like basically a market driven, right? So the demand and the like you say, enjoyability of it would be driving the price up or down.
Exactly right. So if a game's not fun to play, you'll see that the asset owners probably having to lower their
Adjust their price. So is it going to be like
exactly
sort of
right.
like an auction system, not an auction system, but you get what I mean? Like basically the lowest, basically like a market, the way the market works, lowest
Yeah,
prices that go first.
yeah, spot on. So it's just an open market, right? So if you come on there, let's call
Interesting.
it game Z. You come on there, you say that, oh, I want a 60% split, and the player takes 40%. But then I come on there and I'm like, you know what? I'm willing to accept 20%. I'm most likely going to get my NFT lended out before you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, supply and demand.
It's a very interesting way of implementing it. I'm kind of curious a little bit about how but obviously this is a bit more mechanical, but about how the you're going to be rating the user success ratio, and then like giving that user sort of a rating that then other people can, the lenders can see. Like that'll be an interesting part of the mechanic. I'd love to have a look at once you've got that kind of data already.
Yeah, for sure. We do have a couple of ideas that we're working on. We're just trying to figure out what's most efficient. But I can give you, a brief rundown of what we're looking into. One of them is really like a training ground where we host our own mini version games. Just a variety of different games, whether it's that target specific things in order for us to understand the player. Whether it's like a strategic game, we actually implement a like a small strategic game on our platform. And that's where it's almost where every user would have to start in order for them to gain a rating and for us to understand
Right.
their, yeah. That's one way that we're looking at it.
I guess another way would be that you'd almost like OpenSea a little bit with metadata. Like if you could somehow get a sort of a way that games could sort of have a generalized metadata that you could access of the players, like sort of win ratios or their success ratios, loss ratios, things like that, and then you could potentially import that data to use as the metric. That'd be a fascinating thing to look into.
Yeah, exactly right. That definitely is another one that we're looking into. We've, like with Axie Infinity now, you can actually do that for the players. And
Yeah.
when you're onboarding a scholar, you look at, you do a screening test to look at their wallets, what their earnings have been in the past, etc., to
Yeah.
try and gauge a level of of how good how good they are or how profitable they are at that particular game. And it does come back down to how much the game is willing to share, how much information they're
Yeah.
willing to share. Yeah.
See, I'm sitting here thinking while you guys are saying all of this, and now I'm starting to think this is going to be the bridge between professional esports gaming and getting into becoming a professional gamer. Because, you've got professional gamers out there in esports, but they've got to, go in the game and get up the ranks and blah, blah, blah. This intrinsically will be the perfect platform if you're an esports coach or whatever to go and get the best gamers in the world.
Yeah, you're basically developing a metric that people can go in and actually poach the players depending on how good they are, and you could make a ladder ranking system. I mean, you could all implement that kind of stuff in the background of it. That's a possibility too.
100%. And then not only that, but you'll be able to see the players that aren't just good at one game. You'll see a player that just plays one game and he's the best at that game. But then you'll see players that actually go across and play 6 different games and they're ranked very good at all of them.
Mhm.
So that's, as an esports coach, they're going to be like, I need to work with that kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a feeder league.
And there's also the fact for esport players that to become an esport player, most of them they spend years just sitting in front of the computer playing for years, full time basically. And most of these people, if you want to become an esport player, that's what you need to do. So you need funds somehow to be able to survive. And now with play to earn, it means that more people would have access to this type of career if they want to, because they'll be paid while they're training to become either an esport player or while they're building their audience for Twitch or something like that. So it means that all these people will get access to all kinds of new careers as well, and it will become a huge market.
Yeah, it's literally changing it from a scholarship into an apprenticeship, isn't it? Because you're actually getting paid on the job learning.
Exactly, yeah.
That's a
We don't-
really great point. Also wanted to kind of chime in there and say that it's going to open up a market where people will start charging coaching services. So for example, if someone's really good at Axie, they can just get paid in tokens to be able to teach other guys. And
That's a good point.
I have university lecturers on GameFi.
That's amazing. Yeah, I play Dota too, and you can get coaches and all that sort of thing in that. So that's brilliant. It's never ending, really, isn't it? In the space, once you sort of open up your eyes to the ideas, you can literally attach anything to it.
Yeah, exactly. And the ideas just keep coming. They just keep coming, and it's the space itself. I mean, is really still really early. And I guess it's the collaboration of really good projects that's going to help, speed up the process and like-minded people. So yeah, it's still really early, and there's definitely a lot of things that are going to come out of it. So how are Fight Legends going with that? Because I did see that you guys have a renting feature for your NFTs on your game. How have you guys structured that, and how's it going to work?
Yeah, so I mean, we're still in sort of the early design stage of it, but the long and short of it is what we're going to do is have a what we're going to call a free hire system. So the player who owns the NFT, so would technically become the lender. All of the free, we wanted to make it so that every single person who comes into our game doesn't have to know what a wallet is first. So all of the system will have it in basically internally. A free player then who doesn't have a wallet, doesn't own an NFT, would be able to come in and go onto that marketplace and see all the different fighters that are listed there for free hire. Now, we've got a certain function in the game where a fighter has an earning potential based on the amount of energy or stamina that they have. And that actually decreases for how much experience they earn / the rewards they earn as they fight. So as that decreases and as they get the reward, that will be split. And tentatively we're saying, look, 50-50 for the owner of the NFT and for the free player, because we want it to be a pretty even process. But we're willing to change that ratio, but we're still probably just tentatively going to call it 50-50 for the moment. And then what happens is once that earning potential is finished, the player obviously can keep using the NFT, but it won't actually give them any benefit anymore. So what they'll do is they'll send it back, they'll hire a new one, and keep going with the process. This makes it so that the system is constantly turning over the NFTs, and there's not just an NFT that gets hired for an extended period of time. It allows the system to have that movement, that cycling movement. So it's all going to be an internal process, but it would be very interesting to see how that would work with being able to connect it up with an external platform like yours.
Yeah, that's an awesome idea. And have you guys given it any thought to maybe? I mean, like, I'm not sure what your release is in terms of how many NFTs you're planning to mint, but are any of them actually being owned by Fight Legends itself, or are they all for the community and market?
They at the beginning as we're ramping up to launch, that will mostly be community owned. There will be sort of a process in which we release fighters into the ecosystem and help control it so that there's not basically a fluctuation of the what you call like inflation of an NFT, so that it keeps the prices sort of relative. You don't want to obviously have like way too many fighters and demand is not there to give them somewhat of a decent price for the players to be playing around with. But also the price will often be set because in our game we have the fighters actually having experience points and different NFT items that can be equipped to them. Which means that the price will actually increase as you use the NFT because its earning potential will increase as you level it up, as you put more items on it and things like that. So, people who have invested a lot of time into their NFTs will be worth more as well. But yeah, we're definitely going to be having a system controlled sort of burning, a quote unquote burning mechanic where we're actually taking the NFTs back into the system owned wallet and holding them so that they're not being released again, so that we're able to sort of control that inflation deflation binary system.
Awesome,
Great.
awesome. I think I just had a quick question as well. How do you guys plan to drive demand for in-game purchases? Because like we've seen in other games like Axie Infinity, token prices have kind of been going down over time, and it's obviously a very important aspect of GameFi that all of us actually need to consider.
Yep. It really depends with Axie Infinity's case is kind of it depends on how they've set up the structure itself in an overall picture, because they've kind of designed their system in a way without really thinking about it too much, I think. And it's interesting for that because we are then coming in as a second generation game to that, and then we can see the downfalls of what they've done and we can try to adjust to the system. But their system is very sort of it has a high hurdle for entry for new players, and we wanted to completely remove that. We think it's ridiculous. So we think that opening up the floodgates and allowing free-to-play players into the system will actually really drive demand as they start to move towards that NFT side of the project. So we hope that'll help as well. But also, it's sort of the token price. It's interesting. There's a couple of different mechanics you can use to monitor and change and hopefully like influence the token price. But honestly, it'll probably just come from our sort of mass scale that we were trying to like increase, so decrease the hurdles for people to come into the system. And there's a couple of different mechanics that we use because we're going to have multiple currencies. We're not just going to have one currency. We're going to have basically a economic float currency that's actually used as the primary reward, and then our token's actually a primary sort of premium currency that then you can swap between those two currencies for. And there'll be different things that you have to use with that currency, obviously, to purchase in game, start upgrading mechanics and things like that. So without going into the super depth of it, we've got quite a couple of systems that we're going to be using to try and help balance that.
Yeah, awesome.
I have another one to carry on from that. And this is certainly not set in stone, but it's something that pumps around my head a little bit. So I thought I'd share it. If you zoom right out and look at sort of revenue in, revenue out, or value in, value out from play to earn, games, we all recognize that increasing the consumer ratio is really important. Having having money coming in that is purely there to try and bring more money in from other people bringing money in, like that constant, the original Axie model, right, which is just a straight up pyramid. You're there to earn, and you need more earners to earn, and earners are producing, whereas consumers are spending without producing, right? So you need consumers to balance out the earners. Basically, the more consumers you have, the better. So a big part of and for other reasons, a big part of our future is appealing to the mainstream market, free-to-play market, traditional revenue models, right? So traditional skins revenue models, like all this sort of stuff that is traditionally done to bring traditional revenue. But something that sits in my head, and I like this is not something that's done or like we really discussed much at all, so don't take any weight in this. But looking at that revenue model, right, it'd be very cool if there was a way to say, skins purchased are purchased through, a player, to really reduce it down, a free-to-play mainstream player buys a skin for $30, $20, whatever it is. They buy a skin for $20. That skin, the $20 could be purchased from what is generated by your core players, your NFT play to earn style players, right? If they are uncovering skins as they journey through the game and grind the game, and then those skins are purchased by us using crypto that we purchased with revenue from free-to-play mainstream players buying skins, that'd be cool. So imagine if I hate NFTs and I buy a skin because I love the game and I don't engage with NFTs at all. But on the back end, someone else who's a play-to-earn player uncovered that skin as an NFT and sold it internally to us, where a portion of the revenue from that free-to-play player went to buy that skin from the earning player. It means we can actually direct revenue from mainstream non-crypto gamers towards the earning base. Yeah, from consumer to producer. And if those producers require our token to generate those NFTs that they then sell to as non-NFT skins in limited supply to the mainstream market, that could inflate a long-lasting balloon, right, that just floats away, because you've got 100 times as many gamers in the mainstream market as in crypto. Actually, I think you've got over 1,000 times. It's 3.1 billion players, right? There's only 200 million crypto owners, full stop. I don't know how many gamers there are in crypto, but fuck all, right? So if you imagine the 20 or 50 times as many people buying skins as are producing them through play to earn, that's a pretty good ratio. That's a very healthy boost to the play to earn revenue model. So that's something we'll be looking at.
Definitely.
Awesome, man. I think that's some alpha for everyone, is it?
Yeah, that's some sneaky. I don't know. Like I probably shouldn't have said anything, but I was just been thinking about it. Right, like no one's doing that, and it's probably like, what makes it a security? Well, I'm not sure how we're going to go about it, right? But there's definitely going to be a way. There's always a way, right? And I think if we can look towards that, we start defining the future gaming revenue models for the world, not just for crypto, because the future is mainstream. The future is mainstream adoption. So how's that going to look, right? Exactly. And it's going to have to include the revenue that's anti-crypto or not involved with crypto, or just real traditional revenue streams paired up with what we're building from the crypto space. So it seems like it's inevitable, but it'd be good to front run everyone on it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you everyone again. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying end rant. Thank you for
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you everyone for hanging out with us, Fight Legends and Lootify here. We'll go a little bit over since we came with a little bit of a rough start, but such a good conversation going on, so we can definitely keep going here as we wrap things up. If anyone has any questions, feel free, raise your hand, come up here, ask the teams questions, and find out a little bit more.
We're getting some pretty hardcore desyncing, I think, happening there. But yeah, if anybody does have any questions, feel free to raise your hand, and we can answer them as much as we can.
Well, in the meantime, so just to get back to your question, when you were saying how do you plan on keeping the marketplace like alive and having people buying stuff from the marketplace in game, the main thing as well is just like League of Legends and all these games is that we'll have new fighters, new regions, new skins coming out on a very regular basis, right? So like just like in League of Legends where you have a new character coming out every month or something. Drives all the players to go and either buy that fighter because they want to try it out or rent it to someone else. And at the start, because supply will be so low at the start, your only option is really to either rent it for a super high price or go and buy one, So that should keep a really healthy economy into the game as long as content is coming out.
Yeah, great idea. I was actually thinking that as Dizzy was touching on this topic earlier. You'll find that you'll probably end up finding that players are not wanting to cash out their tokens and save them up so they can buy the next, best skin that they, that's on their wish list. So it's a
Yeah.
good model.
And the cool thing with Web3 and NFTs and all that is that they could even just buy the latest fighter, and right before the new one drops, they can sell it and hopefully sell it not for a loss and buy the next one and just keep going like that.
Mm-hmm. See, now you guys say that. I reckon the marketing campaign shouldn't be at the gamers, right? It shouldn't be at the 14 to 18-year-olds like we all know we should be doing. It should be at those kids' parents, right? We need to throw all the marketing behind the kids' parents. So when the kid goes, I need $25 for V-Bucks, and the parent goes, no, you're going to play Fight Legends, right? And you're going to make me some money, right? I'm not giving you $25 when you can go play Fight Legends. Look at it. It's a great game, right? And you can make money while you're playing it. Well, our marketing's got wrong.
Put the kids to work. Yeah, that's a good one.
Chip in for the power bills.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
That's great.
Hey, we got MetaCon Global up here. Do you got a question?
Hey, just wanted to jump in and say hi to everybody, especially Will. How you guys doing? Great talk today. Great spaces, especially Fight Legends. Will knows me. Coming from the fighting game community, I'm a big. We grew up in the FGC playing fighting games. So as I was telling Will, we're looking forward to what Fight Legends would bring to the play to earn and blockchain. Lootify also, I'm kind of interested in seeing what you guys are gonna do, especially what you guys talked about and how you guys are gonna change the play to earn or the platform that you guys are building. So just that, really don't really have much of a question. I mean, for me, I'm just Metacon. Just brief about what we do. Metacon, we're the world's first gamify metaverse gaming event that we're launching in Dubai. And we're focused on esports, gaming, NFTs, and everything in between. So yeah, just
And the tickets will come.
say that again.
Dude, actually, can we before we wind up, let's hear a bit more about Metacon. Metacon is awesome. What's being built there is really freaking cool. I would like to meet everyone in Dubai. I want to be at the front and center of every one of these events. I think it's really, really cool. And I love
Next company meeting.
I don't know if anyone wants to ask some questions of him, but I'd love to give him a chance to speak for a minute about that, because I think Lootify and all of our partners, Meta Guardians, it'd be great to see us all there. It'd be great to go and this is Comic-Con for our space, right? So we're the group to be there. Obviously, Axie and everyone else, these big players are going to try and take that stage as this Metacon develops.
Yeah, well,
we want to kind of stake our claim and get involved early, right? Before they try and batter down the doors. Let's be a part of the Metacon family. But yeah, I don't know if anyone's got any questions about it, but it'd be pretty cool to have a brief minute to talk about it.
so you guys were supposed to come out, right? Well, but see, the good thing is we delayed it because Metacon was supposed to happen this weekend, but due to kind of the situation going on with Ukraine and Russia and all, we had a lot of partners that felt they could not participate because, as you know, there are a lot of dev teams in Ukraine. So we decided with the partners and sponsors that we had and with the support of the Dubai government, we decided to push it back until end of May. So our new date now is the 28th and the 29th of May. We're going to update all the socials, the website, and everything the next day or two. And hopefully that gives enough time for a lot of projects, because a lot of projects wanted to come, but it was like a short notice because nobody knew about Metacon. We just popped up. and we're like, okay, we're hosting the world's first gamified gaming event in Dubai. Even with you guys also, Fight Legends, you guys wanted to show up. I know Will was excited. Hopefully, pushing it back till 2.5 months gives you guys enough time to kind of come out.
Mate, that's actually perfect for us. We want to do a lot in May. We're at the Australia's biggest fighting game, I guess, convention that we have.
Which one?
In May. We're also that's the Couch Warriors and Battle Arena Melbourne.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So we'll be present there, trying to win over our haters as we sort of develop a long-term lead partnership with them.
Mm-hmm.
Which will be a fun journey, right? Like, we can't be their branding partner until we've worked on their community. Otherwise, there'll be some negative splashback for them.
No,
because they're a mainstream.
100%. I mean, I shared Fight Legends with our community, with the FGC here, and some people were interested, some people were against it.
Yeah.
But
we've got that pushback.
it,
It's about getting involved on the ground level and really speaking to these guys face to face and being present and engaging and being part of what they're doing.
Mhm.
And then as the community starts to favor us, we step up our branding, right? So we go from holding a booth at the biggest convention here to being a naming partner, right? Like but to get to naming partner, it's not about money. It's not about them. We all want it. What it's about is having the favor from the community. So it's something we have to build much more organically and put in the work to do so. And so in May, we're there for a 3-day event. Then we've got our own massive event coming where we're doing some really cool stuff in Melbourne that we're planning. And then it would be very, very, very cool to also be in Dubai. And actually, we're going to work that into our planning efforts. So we'll be there. Don't worry. I'm coming. We're coming to that event.
So end of May, May 28th,
I'd like to
29th.
see our friends there too.
Hopefully, everything's gonna work out with everybody. But yeah, man, as I said,
What date did you say, sorry?
28th and the 29th.
Oh, 29th. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
Yeah,
Lootify
go
is
ahead and
also
shoot me
join.
a DM. I'd like to learn some more about that too.
I did.
It seems like there's a lot of crypto events going on in Dubai, actually.
Dubai is becoming, as people say, the new Crypto Rico. We have lots of blockchain crypto events, a lot of major crypto investors, VCs. Everybody moves to Dubai. Literally, I'm like at these events, and every time, like, yeah, I just moved to Dubai. Oh yeah, we just opened our office in Dubai. Yeah, we just moved to. I'm like, it's crazy. Everybody. And yesterday, Dubai, I don't know if you guys heard because it was going around the world. Dubai announced a new kind of regulatory authority for digital assets because they want to support and push digital assets and NFTs. So, and obviously with Binance opening up in Dubai as a headquarter, that's also a major move for Dubai, which got a lot of crypto folks moving to Dubai. You know, so we're becoming a hot place for crypto. Honestly, there's a lot of events, a lot of stuff happening. This month is kind of a blockchain month, and then October is another blockchain month with a lot of events happening. But yeah, it's like if people are looking to raise money, if anybody listening, you guys got projects, you guys looking for VCs, investors, Dubai is the place. Literally, they're all here. They're literally all here. So it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But yeah, it's interesting, the space, and we are the only gamify gaming event out there. That's why it's exciting. A lot of companies, when they hear about what we're doing, they check out the pitch deck. It's finally a first time an event that is actually reaching the end user. That's what I try to explain a lot of these blockchain companies. The value that we bring is that we're giving you access to the end user. Yes, you guys are attending all these blockchain events, these B2Bs, but these VCs and investors, they'll never ever play your game, you know? So in the end of the day, you're still a game development company. You still need the users, you still need the gamers, because that's what's going to grow the game. That's what's going to give it the life cycle, unless you guys are just trying to make money and that's it. But you guys need the gamers. And so hopefully with Metacon, doing it in May. But again, Metacon is being built as a global brand, hopefully. So we're looking to go international with it once we do Dubai. We're thinking of doing Dubai this May, and then again another one in December, and then internet we go international next year, hopefully with the world becoming in a better position. So
Do you think it would be? Do you think it would end up kind of being like the Cannes Film Festival of the film industry?
well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm really, that's the vision for me, building Metacon. I mean, for me, I've been doing, as we'll know, I've been in the esports scene for over 14 years. I've been running tournaments in Dubai, in the UAE. I'm a board member in the UAE Esports Federation. So I'm a esports DNA guy. That's all I do every day is esports and competitive gaming. So building Metacon is kind of a global IP that we really want to take it across, and we do have partners right now. We're in talks with different partners around that want to bring Metacon to Japan, to Mexico. We're thinking of Vietnam. So yeah.
That sounds awesome, man. And listen, hey, you can throw down Australia on that list too. I think Melbourne's fast becoming the NFT capital of Australia. So
Oh, that's true.
I'd be
Also,
throwing the dart.
Melbourne is also hot, and it works out for me. Since I'll be coming down to Australia a lot. But yeah, since my fiance is from Australia, so that works. That puts that in my plan.
The real question is, what's the weather looking like around that time of year?
So it's gonna be the start of the summer in Dubai. I'm sure everybody heard about how hot Dubai can get. But again, it's an indoor event. Dubai is all indoor anyway. It's not really gonna bother anybody. Nobody's really outside. So yeah, I mean, one of the unique things that we do also go in that we are the only event supported by Dubai government, and that's another value that we bring to a lot of projects, especially that want to establish bases in Dubai and kind of work within Dubai. So we are really the only event that is really supported by Dubai government because we're doing something different. You know.
That's really awesome, man. You'll definitely catch Ludify there. Hopefully, we can go along with the Fight Legends guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's go party up in Dubai. Hell yeah.
Let's do it.
I will bring the brie. That'll be my job. So
The brie.
to the end of the spaces. So if anyone's got any questions, this is the last minute that you've got to raise your hand to ask some questions. Otherwise, I'm going to throw it over to Lootify. You guys, if you want to do a little wrap up, maybe some people joined a little bit later. Where can we find you? What do you got going on? Just give us a 2-minute little wrap up.
Yeah, well, appreciate the time you guys giving me. Thank you very much. Hopefully, we'll be in touch. Will and the rest of the gang, take care.
Thank you, Metacon. Very, very awesome projects by the sound of things. I'm sure we'll catch up. Thank you for that, Fight Legends team. Really appreciate having us on your AMA today. So Lootify, again, just to wrap up, player acquisition, a social play-to-earn gaming platform focused on building player acquisition infrastructure. Our website actually goes live in 2 weeks. That's our landing page, that is. Mainly, we're most active on Twitter, so make sure you follow us at Lootify_IO if you are interested in keeping up with the project.
That's awesome, guys. It's been a pleasure having you along. Will, mate, I'll give you a last minute or two to say goodbye to the community, and when I guess we will see you tomorrow anyway in our game dev and CEO spaces.
Ooh, that'll be fun. What time's that?
Sean?
Oh, put on the spot.
Hey, I just up.
Okay, so tomorrow we'll have a space at some time. I'm very thankful for everyone that came to this one. It was really cool chat. Obviously, we're doing these pretty regularly, and I think a lot of us will be hanging out, talking about our projects, other people's projects, and just connecting with everyone, and that's really special. So, let's all support each other and make some magic happen.
Yeah, and then just real quick, I sent a DM to the Lootify account so we can talk a little bit further. And then, Will, I'd love to set up another meeting with you so we can work out some more official stuff on our end.
Absolutely, especially now that it's in May, that's perfect for us. It's a big month. We're launching our trainer drop in May, and being present at some of these big events in Dubai and Melbourne will really help bring attention to that. So we're very keen. Hit up. We'll get my Calendly and get on a call.
Yeah, just go ahead
Yeah.
and send it over on our Telegram.
Yeah, beauty.
Yeah, Will, thank you very much, man. I love your attitude and how you're trying to connect with everyone. Just wanted to, really say thank you. You're a great leader in this space, mate, and we appreciate you bringing on Lootify as part of your AMA space. And yeah, thanks for having us on, guys.
Mate, greatly appreciated. Thank you, everyone.
Absolutely. Thanks everyone for coming. Thank you for Lootify, Mestrum from MetaGuardians, Metacon. It was a rough start, but damn, this was a great conversation. We're all going to make it. Game-changing stuff here. Thanks for everyone who listened. Make sure to follow Fight Legends on Twitter. Check out Fight Legends Media for all of our Twitter Spaces replays. And we'll see you all here on Twitter Spaces for tomorrow's Fight Legends. Good morning. Until then, see y'all.
GM.
Everybody.
Peace.
Bye, everyone.
Alpha mic drop.